Okay, so here's a video how we can start and stop a Google Cloud VM via Python. So I just want to show, so here's one VM I created earlier. I can go into start and I can start it that way. That's through the console. Option number two would be to go into the Cloud Shell. So I'm just going to wait for that to come up. Okay, that's come up. So what I can do here, I can do gcloud compute instances. Let's do just a list first. And you've got one there, and then I can just do start, and then I can do the name instance France. So that should come up there with that. So that's the second way which I can start the instance. So now I want to do a third way in which I utilize Python in order to do that. So I'm going to show you how you can do it from Python, so you can even do it from your Windows machine. So let me just go into here. Let's refresh that. It should see it started. So we'll just do the reverse. We're going to stop the machine now. So let's do a stop on that. And that will stop there. So now we want to do it the Python method. So I've explained it in the previous video what you will need to do. So the first thing you should be doing is finding out which service account you're using. You can find that in a number of ways. You can look through the device. The easiest way would be to go into IAM, go down to service accounts, and you've got your service account here. Then you would go into the service account itself, go into keys, and you can see I've already created one. If you haven't done it before, which I've already explained, you just create a new key. And that will generate a new JSON file, which you can then download locally. So if I go into my local Windows folder, I've got one there, and I've got one in which I'm using on this example. I've got it there. That's the one I'm using for this account. And obviously that service account has all the appropriate permission to start, stop, and create VMs. So I want to do it within Python. So what I'm going to do, so there's my file there. So that's all good. So I'm going to open up Python. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save it as, we can just go into GCP, start, stop, VM. Great. So let's go in here. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to import the operating module, Operate OS. I'm going to do the from google.cloud import compute underscore VM. And if you don't know how to do that, you just have to go into do a pip install and pip install google.cloud. I've shown you that in my other video how to do that. So that's how you have to import it within Python. So carrying on, so we do OS Environ, which I've explained before. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, so as we've seen before, Google application credentials, and then we're going to point it to our file. So I think it was in Python, as I remember rightly. And then we've got the name of the file, and there it is, that one there. Great. So we've added that one in there. No mistakes. Now we're going to come to the meaty part, which is how to start the VM. So VM start VM, and we're going to use part of our module. So I'm going to make a new variable, client equals compute underscore v1 dot instances client, and close that off. I make a new variable calling start, and I'm going to use the previous variable, and now I'm going to put the full identity of the actual machine. So here, what we can do here, we can try to be a little bit clever. I'm going to just go into compute instances, and then we can borrow the information in that way. So here we go. So we got all the information we need there. So let's do instance equals, let's do the name of the instance. So the instance is called instance France, and then it's got a project name, which is network play. So I already know the project name, network plays in lowercase. And then we've got the zone of the device of the machine, which is in Europe West 9A. Okay, so let's close that off. That looks good to me. We'll find out when we run it. And then we can do a little print command. I just like that, doing that. VM started. Okay, let's close that off. Start underscore VM. Right, let's run that and let's see if that works. So I'm going to run it. Okay, we've got an exam. We've got a invalid zone here. So let's just have a look. Europe West 4. So we've clearly got a mistake. I'm typing too fast here. So let's just do it there. Save that again. Run that. Okay, VM started. That's good. So I'm just going to bring that down. I'm going to just push that across to my other screen. And if I do a refresh here, and there you go, we've started the VM via the code which we wrote here. That's brilliant. Right, now how can we stop it? Well, the stop will be very similar to what we've written to the start. So I'm going to do a stop now. I'm going to do it a little bit different just to show you there's a different, we can do a more easier way if you wish, not as wordy as the previous method. So stop, and then we can do, I'm just going to make it very quick. I'm not going to use very variables here. I'm going to use the compute underscore portion of the variable there. Okay, and then I'm going to do a stop, and then I'm just going to copy the identity of that machine, and I'm going to paste it like that. And then I'm just going to do a simple print command. Let's put the quotes in. VM stopped. Okay, close brackets, and then I can do stop underscore VM. Right, let's run that. So let's just hash that one out. Let's minimize this and let's run it, and hopefully we should see that stopping. VM stopped. Okay, let's refresh that. Looks like stopping to me. It looks like it's stopping. Yeah, it's stopping. So there you go. That's how you can use and leverage Python on a Windows machine to work around your VMs. I will do a new video on the deletion. That's a little bit more lines involved, but same kind of principle, same kind of concept. So the key thing which you need to do is always make sure you get the service account file, JSON file, put it somewhere locally and import that into your Python file, and you'll be able to manipulate VMs in that way. I hope that helped. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll do more of these videos. Thank you very much.